John Cena's time is almost up, ladies and gentlemen. The time to retire is almost now. Who will be the one to retire John Cena, be his final opponent at Saturday night's main event? You see it on screen there, Saturday, December 13th in Washington, D.C. It has been confirmed by WWE that is going to be the final match for, well, Big Match John, of course, spanning over 20 odd years in the game in WWE. Been the face of the promotion for arguably that amount of time as well. NXT, we can speculate a few names to start off with the video, get people in the comments as well that's joining us live to give their thoughts who will be the final match, but ultimately we're going to give a prediction in about 3 or 4 minutes time. But NXT, I've got 3 or 4 names I want to see. Let's start off with who you want to retire John Cena.
Obafemi is the one I regularly rave on about. I think should be one of the guys, because this whole retirement tour, I don't think he's put over anyone new, so that's kind of been a bit of a letdown. Ethan Page I think would be great. There's rumors of Edge. That would be fantastic. Joe Hendry, again, quality. Unfortunately, can't say we're going to get any of them. That's the problem.
Let's just dive through some of those names quickly there. Obafemi, realistically, has got slightly more of a shout than what would have been a week ago. He's lost the NXT Championship to Ricky Saints. He's not been on NXT this past week. He's not featuring in the NXT versus TNA, not Invasion Tour anymore. Now it's a showdown now going forward. So that he could be open the door and he would be, a bright future star that could come in, destroy John Cena in the final match and put him straight on the map. What a great shout that would be. Ethan Page, I have to agree with you right now. North American champion. He's got his hands full right now. It looks to be with Mustafa Ali in the immediate future. Dr. Wagner Jr. as well coming up as well, so probably unlikely. Edge, look, as much as I'd love to see it, arguably John Cena's greatest rival of all time. The guy obviously is contracted to AEW. Could there be a way they could work something out? They have actually acknowledged each other on both of their own shows that they're on right now.
So Chris Van Vliet apparently said in an interview with
Santi's app.
Yeah, that was it. And he said apparently when he spoke to him, he had 2 years left, which would have finished roughly now, but they might add time on for injuries, which it might be a possibility. But then I heard that he's still got another year left, and it's meant to be the end of next year.
Yes, it seems unlikely. And like you say, injury time, he's been out for a long time. He hurt himself in that cage match with Malachi Black, didn't he? And Double or Nothing a year and a half ago, I want to say that was now. So yeah, he was out for quite a long time at that point. So yeah, it's I would say that it's probably unlikely, but would be kind of cool to see. Joe Hendry would be awesome, especially with, again, that debut splash. He said he would call his shot for that as well. And it all depends on the way WWE wants to market that. But while Joe Hendry is not a WWE talent, I don't see how they would give him that rub at this particular time. I'm going to give you my wants. My wants. First one, Dominic Mysterio. The Intercontinental Championship is the title John Cena has not won. Go for the Grand Slam Championship in your last ever match. And Dirty Dom is going from strength to strength. The match with Rusev this past Monday night on Raw was fantastic. And the way he's getting over now, not just by being Dirty Dom as a heel, he's now doing Eddie Guerrero tactics that's getting him cheered as a face. It's really starting to kick in and gel together with Dom. And I think it would be a really fun last match for John Cena. Second one I'm going to shout for, Gunther, the Ring General. Feels like the perfect John Cena opponent, in my personal opinion. I mean, like, he's built that way. And of course, he had the retirement match for Goldberg earlier this year as well. Could be kind of a thing for Gunther moving forward. And last name that I'm going to throw out there, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is a future WrestleMania main event, so they say it on Raw each and every week. Paul Heyman is saying it as well. For me, I just think, again, you're building stars of the future. Would I like to see someone like Carmelo Hayes as well added to the mix? Absolutely. But personally, for me, I'd like to see him actually added to John Cena's last show in Boston, because they're both from Boston. So I think that would work pretty well. Even though Carmelo Hayes is a SmackDown guy, look, WWE doesn't care about the draft. Why should we do that match on the Raw? So what do you reckon then of potential maybe Gunther, Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio?
Dominic Mysterio, I think, may still actually happen, because he's still got, I know he's got Crown Jewel and then like 3 Raws and obviously then Saturday night's main event. So I think that's still a possibility for one of them Raw shows. And dude, put the title on Cena. Why not? Let him retire as a champion. Gunther, again, would love to see it. Look, again, I go back to putting the whole new talent over. I know Gunther's not exactly new, but he is like dude's been a 2-time world champion, I believe, in the last 18 months. If you're going to put someone over, again, why not? Bron Breakker, again, another guy that should deserve the John Cena rub to be put over. So I'm glad that we've come up with 8 separate names that could possibly be the match. Will they be? Probably not. And I think that's the biggest crime.
I think so as well, because John Cena is doing the greatest hits tour. He's literally doing all the matches we've seen before, minus 1 or 2. Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes. I think the rest we've kind of seen. We've seen CM Punk. We've seen Randy Orton. We've seen, Brock Lesnar that's been done. And we've seen AJ Styles that's coming up at Crown Jewel. Don't get me wrong. All have their own great matches in history and perhaps great rivals of John. But I think for me, I wanted to see some fresher, newer talent. And that's what, Gunther, you mentioned, is established, but he's a fresh opponent for John Cena, which is why I think that could really, really work. However, it is prediction time. I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Who will retire John Cena in his final match? Let's see if your name matches with my name. And comments, get your names in now.
I think we should have pulled out the whiteboard for this one. I'm going with Brock Lesnar. I think they're going to get Brock Lesnar back just so John can get that win back over for him. It seems like such an underwhelming finish. At this point, I'm actually looking more forward to AJ Styles' retirement run than John Cena's. That's how bad I think this has gone. But yeah, I think Brock Lesnar is the safest bet just to give him that win back. But I will put money on it now. I don't think that will be John Cena's last match. I think that WrestleMania Saudi show is going to have lots of money involved, and John Cena versus Edge at WrestleMania 43, I think it is. Yeah, why not?
Do you know what? I mean, the thing is, I would like to hope John Cena will keep his word. If anyone's going to keep the word in a wrestling retirement business after we've had a full year run of this, I'd like to hope that Cena would keep to his word. But never say nothing in pro wrestling.
Retired.
You never say, you never.
Retired.
Exactly.
It's just one of them things.
My name is different. My name is different. I think your one has got legs on it. Unfortunately, I don't want to see the Brock Lesnar one. And whilst they could give Cena his win back with arguably what they could say is his greatest rival, there is one more name in the Greatest Hits Tour that has not been featured at all yet and seems to get overlooked quite a lot when it comes to pro wrestling. Seth frickin' Rollins is going to be the name I'm going to throw out as the last match because John Cena is the 17-time world champion, probably has a tainted way that he won it by doing it as a bad guy. Why not just try and win it one more time as a good guy, going for the World Heavyweight Championship? Seth and John, like I said, have got history from 2015. Obviously, had some great matches at SummerSlam. Who remembers Jon Stewart? Did Night of Champions as well. So they've got history of working together. And I just think Seth Rollins is one of those big, big names. And Seth right now is trying to be positioned almost as if he's the top heel in the company. And I think to have that sort of moment of beating John in his last match could really just propel him to that next level. If you go back to sort of comparing to like breaking the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania, for example, Brock Lesnar did not need that. You would think of WrestleMania 30, yet Brock went on to different levels. He was a top guy before, but he went to superstardom at that point moving forward. So I think for Seth, that could just take him to the next level. So I'm going to say Seth freaking Rollins is the last guy Saturday Night's main event for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I like the idea of yours more because it makes the guys round every week. He's a world champion at the minute. It makes more sense. Look, they're charging 11 grand for front row seats for this show, which is a crime in itself. $11,000. Yeah, yours. I think yours is the better option. I just don't think it's the more realistic option, which I think is the biggest crime, I suppose. They're going to get Brock in there, and they're going to pay him a 7-figure salary to do one match to lose. Brock Lesnar will eat that all day long. I'll lose for $1 million.
All them tickets sales being sold, I can easily play Brock's salary. But I hope you're wrong. You hope I'm right. But maybe the comments will have different answers. Let's go through. I'm going to pick a selection out there for us now. Eric Douglas said that Don would be such a good Cena retire match for John Cena. Well, I would love to see it. CM Punk's biggest fan as well said, I think he will fight Dirty Dom, needs the IC title for the Grand Slam. Gunther is a shout out there from Mike in the house as well. Good to see you, Mike. Obafemi has been given a shout as well from Eric Douglas. And it says Punk should have been the guy. Arguably one of John Cena's greatest rivals as well there. Look, Punk, Edge, Randy Orton, WWE probably going with Lesnar. Who do you think is John Cena's greatest rival of all time?
Oh, it's got to be Edge, surely. Like, but I know Punk obviously, well, like the summer of Punk was such a big thing that a lot of people are like avid, like they have a lot of avid memories of that time period as well. But look, Edge and Cena go back so far. The whole Money in the Bank cash in, the first ever one, is between Edge and Cena. And then, you know what I mean? From there, obviously, that's when Edge kind of hits that main event scene, and like their stories kind of just intertwine up until the point where Edge retires. And yeah, I would say Edge. I think they've had I think their catalogue of matches as well is probably a lot better than Cena's catalogue with other people. So yeah, I'd say Edge.
I kind of am inclined to agree with you. I kind of always felt, though, back in the day, it was Cena Orton, just purely because of the fact that they had matches also over a varied of years. Obviously, starting in 2007, worked his way now all the way to 2025. But yeah, excuse me, the summer of 2009 in particular, obviously, when they went having a series of matches that would go on then for years and literally title switching all the time. But I do feel that the Edge programs was better when you look back in the history, more shocking moments, helping Edge become a main eventer. I love the TLC match, Unforgiven 2006, between Edge and Cena as well. So I'm going to actually be inclined to agree with you, but for the longest time, I always used to say Randy Orton. Let's dive into the comments then. It's going to be your turn, ladies and gentlemen. Your questions, your opinions. Get yourselves involved. Make yourself loud and clear. We're going to be answering all your questions now for the rest of the stream. I'm going to start with Sid Rhodes in the house. Sid saying AJ Styles said he will retire in 2026. I've seen actually reports him saying that the upcoming tour they're going to do in Japan potentially will be his last. So yeah, it looks like that retirement tour is getting close.
I'm more gutted by the fact that AJ Styles is retiring, because
Wow.
AJ is just that guy. Like TNA for the longest time, goes to New Japan, comes to WWE. Like that guy has had like the best sort of career trajectory where it's just gone up and up and up. And his list of matches throughout all three companies across the world, independent shows as well. Like the guy is just an all-round great, phenomenal wrestler. And the fact that we won't be able to see any more of his matches because he's turning 50. He don't want to do it no more. I'm more bummed out by that, and I'm glad that he got to WWE, and still one of my favorite debuts in the Rumble ever. Like it's up there with Edge, because I don't think Vince or anyone was prepared for the reaction he was going to get when he came out. I think they were just expecting this guy to just, yeah, you worked for these little companies. We're the big boys. No one's going to really know who you are. And he turns out to be like the best surprise of the entire weekend. So yeah, again, I'm more gutted by the fact that AJ Styles won't be around anymore. But well, it's not even like we've got a network to go back and watch his old stuff anymore. But I suppose over the next year or so, we can do some rewinds of some of his stuff. Hopefully try and find like some New Japan stuff, maybe. Just try and find some of his greatest hits.
Absolutely, some AJ Styles gems. Let us know. Actually, in the comments, we'd love to know some of your favorite AJ Styles matches. You can share some of your favorite John Cena matches as well, because it seems to be quite a retirement theme. But yeah, I'll be gutted to see AJ Styles retire as well. One of my favorites. The reason I got into TNA to begin with, if I'm brutally honest, his matches with Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, and more were just.
We need to do a rewind of that, actually.
We do. Dare I say his career has been phenomenal. I know it's a cheesy one-liner, but it's just so true. And to say, like you say, he's gone above and beyond in WWE, people's wildest expectations. It's been we're sad to see him retire. Who should be AJ Styles' retirement match if you had to go for one right now?
Oh my God, that's such a good shout as well. Really, I suppose it should be someone like John Cena, because you know they had their whole storyline, but then I don't know. I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura really, I suppose, should be the one because they've kind of intertwined over multiple different brands. So maybe it should be him, but I don't think anyone's seen him for 6 months. So who knows what he's doing? I hate to be a cheap answer, but I'd have to probably say Seth Rollins because they've had a history together as well, and Seth is the guy that is there still. So it kind of makes sense for it to be him.
I've always enjoyed their matches, so I
Yeah,
wouldn't be against seeing Seth in
yeah.
that position. I'm trying to think if there's some dream
Obafemi.
matches. Obafemi is the insert answer to all.
Yeah.
Which is the dream matches that we haven't seen AJ Styles have? I think is the big question mark, really. But I'm going to throw one out. I wouldn't necessarily call it a dream match, but I'm gonna suggest this person to be a solid last opponent for AJ Styles. I will
I don't
say
know who.
Joe Hendry, because I think coming from TNA into WWE, having that sort of parallel sort of thing of you're going to be the next big thing, I think it's just a great way of passing the torch.
I actually have the correct answer.
Go for it.
Finn Balor.
Ooh, yeah.
But they've got all the history from New Japan. They've got the small amount of history that they actually have from WWE. But these are two guys that came from the same New Japan faction, both leaders of the Bullet Club. It's something that we've never really got a series out of. And I think if we can do a story, get the demon back for a show, do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot more to do. And I think it also helps elevate Finn Balor back up to the main event.
Yeah, absolutely. And Finn needs that right now. Let's be fair at this
Yeah.
point. He's dropping down the card rapidly, which I don't like to see. I want to see more Finn on my TV, even though he's a Spurs fan. Quick 30 seconds of football. Been asked if I'm happy that Nuno Espirito Santo is the new West Ham United manager. Yes, I am. Potter needed to go. I think Nuno will stabilise things, and I think West Ham will get a little bit away from danger. Not too much, but enough for the time being. Roy in-house says the Iconics, aka the Inspiration, won the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships last Saturday. TNA TV tapings. Amazing. I'm happy to see that.
That's the reason why they've been picked for the Showdown team for NXT then, and for NXT then, because I sat there and thought, why they haven't picked the Elegance brand? Like the whole women's team is a bit sus, to be fair, with the NXT thing, but yeah, why I forget M by Elegance, and I can't remember the other one's name now. It's a letter, I suppose, but yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get picked. But obviously, thanks to Roy, if they've won them tag team titles, you can see why they're going to be in the match.
Absolutely, of course, former WWE talent, so it makes sense to put them on there because they're recognizable names for the WWE audience. So, yeah, it kind of made sense. But yeah, happy to see them winning those tag team titles. I think they've had a few cracks at that title, not won it. So, great to see they finally got the belts. Paul Simmons and House says, are you looking forward to TNA versus NXT? I'll be cheering for Team TNA. TNA are going to need to get at least 1 or 2 wins on this show, otherwise it's not going to look good. But are you looking forward to this this worlds collide? Dare I say it?
I am. I think there is going to be, without giving a spoiler away, but I'm expecting a shock result here with this one. There's a couple of matches. Mustafa Ali versus Ethan Page, I think, is going to be great. The Survivor Series matches, the Survivor Series style matches, if they're done right, they'll be entertaining as anything. And obviously, the Hardys versus Dark State, that's an easy dub for the Hardys. I'm sorry. There's no way Dark State win them TNA tag team titles. I'm sorry. That's a spoiler. That's not even a spoiler. That's just I'm telling you now.
That's just a real people in, because we're going to record our predictions for that show, NXT Showdown, after we've done this Q&A. So that video I'm hoping is going to drop tomorrow. But of course, worst case scenario, spoiler alert. But worst case scenario, it drops on Friday. But you will be getting those NXT Showdown predictions on the channel. Unfortunately, it'll be pre-recorded, but we're going to keep them nice and trim for you, so that way you hopefully will enjoy it. Fingers crossed you will anyway. Any news on why they changed the name? Asked Eric. So Invasion was what was given. Now it's not official. But this is what seems seemingly going around. It's going to land on a anniversary of what's been going on with Israel, with an invasion at that time, and it upset a lot of people in that portion of the world. And since that's been brought to light in amongst the gossip of the wrestling community, that's why I'm saying allegedly as well, because it's gossip, WWE and TNA have removed everything that involves the word invasion on their promotion of this, and it's stuck with just Showdown instead. And that's why they also then changed the theme of it on NXT this week, where Santana Marella said, well, it's not really an invasion. We've been working together wonderfully for months, so it's more a case of a showdown. So yeah, it just feels that they've changed their tune rather than actually going with the original theme, which is a shame because Invasion was awesome back in 2001, obviously with WWE WCW, and you can see it's kind of an accident of how it's been. But if it's going to cause upset and uproar, WWE have just done the sensible thing and changed the name. I do kind of feel like Takeover would have been a great name instead.
Yeah,
would have been a great excuse to bring that back in.
Would have been more
But
fitting.
yes, but Showdown is what they've gone with.
Yeah, look, publicly traded company, bad press equals drop in stocks. It's a company decision that's very, that someone else higher up has gone, look, it will affect stock rates. Let's just not do it. Let's just change the name of it. And at least they've done it in a creative way where, like you said, Mike Santana did the whole spiel with his promo, kind of like you know, but you don't know as to why they've really changed it. But yeah, I look, it's a business decision. I understand it. It's a shame. Again, I would have loved the whole Invasion name, but yeah, Takeover is the correct term.
It would have been, but sadly it wasn't to be. But still, I think the logo for Showdown looks pretty cool. Still, they've gone with the W. Still has that Invasion look with the V. So yeah, there was some pluses to it. Ray asking Ash by Elegance, or saying Ash by Elegance relinquish the TNA Knockouts Championship, stepping away from in-ring competition. Not a fan of Ash, but hope she can make a return in the future. Absolutely. Not disclose the reasons of why she's stepping away for now, but I hope everything is okay for Ash and that she will return at some point in the future. Of course, they did do a match, of course, which Kalani Jordan has become the TNA Knockouts champion in the meantime. We'll talk about this on here more than what we'll do on our predictions video. We'll give something for you now. Kalani Jordan is on Team TNA, and I couldn't help but feel that I was rooting for JC Jane in a promo battle between the two of them, purely because of the fact that JC said, well, you're a traitor, because I held that title and I still branded myself as an NXT superstar. She got a point, didn't she?
Just a bit. Look, like I said at the start, that TNA women's team just doesn't make sense because they are all former NXT stars, and there are people on the TNA roster like Rosemary, for example, who's like an OG TNA wrestler that is not being used, and you kind of feel like I understand that they know the WWE style, so I don't know, maybe they know how to on a match that they want to put on. I feel that TNA is actually very underwhelmingly represented in this whole thing. Like, you've got Frankie Kazarian, Moose, Mike Santana, and and Leon Slater. Solid men's team. TNA wrestlers, great team. Women's team, highly let down by the picks, and it's what everyone's been talking about. But look, they've all, like I said, they've all wrestled the WWE style. They know everything about it. So I presume it's safe booking, I suppose, is probably what you want to say.
Absolutely. Who was I don't even know the name of the fourth person.
Jakara Jackson, isn't it? I can't think they've.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so I don't know what her name is now, and it's because even Kalani makes the reference of almost calling her Jakara Jackson before saying her TNA name.
There you are. But I mean, Racers could have picked a better TNA Knockouts team. Indy Hartwell, Danny Luna, Jodie Fett, Rosemary. I mean, there was a host of names on the Knockouts division that are pure TNA, and I think they would have got a better shout, but it is what it is. I mean, Indy Hartwell was one I was expecting to be thrown into the mix for her NXT history, but I guess it's not to be.
Danny Luna is dying for a rub and to be pushed up into that main event scene. It just feels like that TNA Knockouts division is just lacking some serious star of power, because like you said, even Indy Hartwell there is a former WWE star, and and obviously all the stuff with Masha Slamovich, and obviously Ash by Elegance is now out injured. They are severely lacking in that department.
They are a little bit at the moment in TNA. That's one thing for sure. I'm sure the team would have been slightly different had circumstances been different. CM Punk's biggest fan says, I think AJ Styles' retirement match will be Edge or a returning Chris Jericho. That would be a good shout for AJ Styles, a returning Jericho, potentially at WrestleMania. Edge would love to see those two. That was a dream match for me. Didn't quite work out the way I wanted to when it happened because Edge started the Judgment Day stuff at the time. But yeah, wasn't too bad.
I wouldn't be against it. Like I said, I expect Chris Jericho to return at some point anyway, because he'll go in that Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Ray hopes that AJ Styles turns up at TNA Bound for Glory and has a match. You're not alone on that one.
Fingers crossed.
We can only hope. Mike asking, do you see Mustafa Ali winning the NXT North American title on Tuesday? It was 2 years ago. He was promised a title shot but got released. It was mentioned in NXT. It will be a full circle moment if Ali wins the North American title.
You'll have to check out the TNA predictions video.
That's true.
No
That's
spoilers,
true. What I will say is, can he win it? Absolutely. That would probably be the biggest talking point from this show if Mustafa Ali wins it. Will he though is a different question.
I think the match is going to be phenomenal as well. Like just my Mustafa Ali's like in ring style, and then you add Ethan Page with his character work and his devious heel run. I think it'll be great.
I'm going to I feel I can still answer this question, Mike. Good for you. Because you've not said, will he? You're not asking for my prediction, but do you see him doing it? I do see him doing it. I do see it happening. But do I predict it will happen? It's a different thing. So you would have to check out the predictions for that. What big superstar? I know. CM Punk's biggest fan says, what big superstar do you think returns next year? In my opinion, it will be Big E, Chris Jericho, or John Moxley. For those three, I would go with Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho's the easiest answer. Big E, I honestly don't think he's ever coming back, because I think we had the discussion about the Unreal series where I think Woods essentially says that Big E is retired. Like, there's the way he words it or way he says something, you're essentially going, yeah, no, he's not coming back. And Moxley, man, that guy's AEW for life now. I very much doubt he'll ever come back.
I have a feeling Mox may come back one day, but it'll be towards the very end of the career. And I think it would be purely Mox, Rollins, Reigns, triple threat WrestleMania. That vibe has to be, and it would have to be Moxley that comes back in, not Dean Ambrose. But I still think we are plural years away from such thing happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. The guy is like one of the instruments for AEW having, I think, their best year this year, and I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
No, me neither. James in the house for James join us says Edge Styles versus Jacob Fatu in his final match. Hello, that's quite tasty.
Yeah, not a bad shout. It's the problem I have is it's the same thing I say every time with AJ Styles, because he's getting older. His in-ring style is hard to carry on doing into his age. That's the only thing I worry about. But Jacob Fatu, I think that would actually probably work quite well, because he won't have to be as aerially gifted, and he could be more technical, more mat-based, I suppose.
The thing is, Fatu can almost match. Dare I say, he can match, because he's aerial in his own right. I mean, if you scream AJ Styles an X Division style match in his final match in WWE, that would tick the boxes. I really like that suggestion a lot. It's possibly one of my favorites I've seen. Also makes me wonder why we've not had Jacob Fatu versus John Cena in any variation this year as well. I know that Fatu's now a face, but there was a point that Cena was a heel.
Yeah, again, I hate to say it, but lackluster retirement year. Like, we've missed so much of putting over new talent, or even just having John Cena wrestle new talent. It's just been criminally underwhelming.
Certainly has been indeed. Ray goes on to say Jakara Jackson's name in TNA is Mara Sade. There we are. Thank you very much. We appreciate that, Ray. That's helped me a bundle. James goes on to say, are you happy that Jurassic Express reunited at All Out? It was a surprise. It was a surprise indeed. I must admit, this is going to sound terrible. I've still not finished All Out. Life is just going the way. I have seen the clip online, but I don't actually know.
Huh? I can top it. I haven't even started it.
You haven't even started it. There we go. I have got as far as John Moxley and Darby Allin. So I've seen a return in that match. I don't know if you know the spoiler of that, but I've seen a return in that match. So so I saw a packed return. That was pretty cool. I'm going to answer with this one, because obviously I haven't seen it as much in context. But what I will say is that both of these guys, I think, need this. They've tried being apart and it's not worked. And I think that it was an act that really worked at the time, and I'm pleased to see them back together. Fans will sing along with, obviously, Tarzan as well, Tarzan Boy song, that classic tune. So yeah, I'm really just pleased that, you know, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And putting these two back together, I think just works. And AEW's tag team division is dying for, you know, a team like this to be back together that was over, just add some credibility in there. And I generally can see these guys being tag team champions by the end of the year.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think Perry needed it more than anything, just because he had this monumentous return as a massive heel, and it's kind of been, it's the problem I have with a lot of AEW stuff. They get these people to a certain point, and then they just kind of don't know what they're doing with them. And I think Jack Perry is one of them people where he was involved with the Bucks and all this stuff, and then just does nothing essentially until this reuniting of Jurassic Express. And I'm kind of like, it's more for, I think it's more for him than it is for Kill Switch Luchasaurus.
I wonder, has he gone back to being Luchasaurus now?
Yeah, yes, because he takes off the what's he got on? He's got on one of those weightlifting belts with his name on it. He takes it off, and yeah, he's gone back to being Luchasaurus now.
Happy days. That's good. That's good all round. I mean, he was out for a long time, and he was in a bad way. It's great to see him back and competing again as well. So yeah, this is a happy story. So yeah, like it. I like it a lot. Sid says TNA's men's team is better than NXT's. Look at that. We've got so the NXT team. We've got Ricky Saints. We've got Trick Williams, Miles Bourne, and Javon Evans. I have a feeling Sid is not a massive fan of Miles Bourne.
Nah, Miles Bourne's all right. Do you know what? I think they're missing a powerhouse. Like, I know Trick is supposedly a powerhouse, but he ain't no Moose powerhouse. I think that's why there's almost a slight unbalance in them. But I think otherwise they're pretty balanced. You like Leon Slater cancels out Javon Evans, Ricky Saints cancels out. Well, not even Santana cancels out either Saints or Trick Williams. It don't really matter. And then yeah, I think Miles Bourne is probably the weakest of the four. And possibly the guy to most likely take the pinfall. But then again, I suppose he counteracts Frankie Kazarian, because I think if anyone is taking the pinfall in that TNA team, it's Frankie Kazarian, like the final pinfall.
I mean, the thing is, ultimately, it's a Survivor Series match, so it's elimination rules.
Match, yeah, so they're all getting eliminated, yeah. So yeah. All right then. Miles and Frankie are like the number one eliminations, then either of them are going out first.
Yeah, you'd probably say it's a safe bet in that there, but yeah, but I think both teams are strong. Personally, I understand the idea that NXT is not over feminine there, so it's missing its biggest name. But I do think overall that it's still a strong lineup, and I think Miles Bourne it's better for me than Josh Briggs. That's where I'm standing right now.
Let me ask you this quickly: Do you not feel they've missed a trick here? They've got no Joe Hendry, no Jordan Grace, no Obafemi. There's some serious talent lacking off the show that should be on it.
I like the story. Again, we probably won't mention this on the prediction, so it's good it's mentioned here. I like the fact that Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace are seen as well. You're kind of in the middle, because Grace has had a lot of history with TNA. She said she's happy to represent them as well in this. She is contracted, but the fact is that it's like you want to make sure your loyalty is 100% where they are, which they should be. They should be, like you said, you're getting paid for it, so your loyalty should be there. But at the same time, Joe Hendry, everyone seems to speculate he's leaving TNA to join WWE, and it's kind of like been brought into storyline, which I think is just kind of fun as well. So, yeah, they're going to do something next week. We just don't know what.
Yeah, but I think Oba's on the verge of a call up now to the main roster. I think the title loss to Saints was almost his bow out. He might have like one or two more story beats, but I expect him to be a Rumble participant, and that's him on the main roster from there.
I completely agree. If he's not called
John
up
Cena's
before,
John Cena's final opponent.
At this rate, that'd probably be even bigger. So yeah, I'm down for both. We've got, if Chris Jericho was to come back, do you think we'll see the glitter jacket? Absolutely. I think so. Yeah, I think we may get a bit of Judas in there as well. I actually personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a list either. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to throw it out there.
I wouldn't mind. You're right. I wouldn't mind seeing a list. I wouldn't mind seeing a list of 1,001 moves either. So I don't know. Like, I think just having Chris Jericho back is a bonus anyway, because he may not be like the most exciting in ring person, but his character work is honestly one of the best. And his whole run with Kevin Owens and the the Festival of Friendship was great. The list and who is it? Who's the guy that won Carmella the Money in the Bank briefcase? I always forget his name. The
James
guy with no
Ellsworth.
chin. James Wells. I think there we go. Yeah, the whole. I think it was a Survivor Series build up. Anyway, what the hell is that? And Ellsworth is standing in the corner. It's just honestly, I'd die every time I see it. Yeah, just his character work alone is going to be so much fun to have back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Guy
at the
with no
moment now,
chin.
it just feels like the time is right. Stars feel aligned. It's time for Jericho to come back. That's how I feel.
Definitely.
There's going to be a first ever women's blood and guts match. Who do you think will be in the match? Asked Ray. Now it seems to be set at the moment. God, my mind's gone a little bit blank. Actually, I know obviously we've got Julia Hart's stable with Sky Blue, and I want to say Rekla? Something like I can never pronounce this female talent's name. She's very talented in ring, just can't pronounce the name for the life of me. Two normal people need to join that side, and then we need to have. I think it's Jamie Hayter that's got a bit of an issue going on with this at the moment. But yeah, women's blood and guts match. First and foremost, answering that part of it, long overdue. I think there was a chance for them to do this a couple of years ago, and they didn't take the opportunity to do it. They gave it to the guys. I'm all on board for it because I think that yeah, the women deserve a go, and I think that there's a lot of talented females in AEW. And you can add some high profile names, and then you can have some less profile names. You get some breakout talents. It's going to be a fun time. But who do I think will be in the match? It's hard to say. It's probably going to be a lot of the Collision crew.
Yeah, that's the problem. Neither of us watch Collision, so it's hard to really tell. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd like to see like Tony Storm get in there somewhere. Now that she's not champ, um, it is like again. I'm not really an avid viewer of Collision, so my brain is just completely blank on even guesses for it. But just in general, the blood and guts match for the women, I think, is great. It's hard to really critique AEW for waiting so long when obviously how long have we waited for a women's Royal Rumble, a women's pay-per-view, a women's, do you know what I mean? We're still waiting for a women's War Games match, so that'll be the next one for them. But if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE's creative or automatically thinking up how to book a War Games match for the women now just to counteract this blood and guts match.
I think WWE's already on the way of doing that. It seems to be building with the Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Asuka and Kairi saying stuff going on. Jesus, I can't get my words out here, but I think they're building towards that.
Didn't TNA have one? I think TNA have had a women's. Yes, they have because it was Rhea Ripley, it was Dakota Kai, it was yeah. So yeah, I'm main roster version of it, but there has been an NXT one. Sorry.
Yeah, NXT have had them all. They've had numerous through the years, NXT, which has been good to see. I mean, Survivor Series, you get them with the women every year anyway. But I'll have a stab. I'll have a stab at this. Yeah, Willow Nightingale, I think, is a safe bet for me. She's in usually a lot of the hardcore stuff that's involved with this. Let's go with Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter. Let's go with. There is one other person that is feuding here with Julia Hart's group, which I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Queen Amanata seems to be in and around a lot of this as well, so I'm going to throw her name in the mix. For two to go on the heel side, oh, Jesus, could be quite tough. I'll go with Megan Bourne and Penelope Ford just because of the fact that they were involved in the brawl that was on the All Out pre-show. So there you go. That's going to be my pick for the lineup. But
who did you say for the face team? Sorry,
for the face team went with Willow Nightingale, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, Queen Amanata, and I said there is one other person that is feuding with Julie Hart's group, but I forget the name off the top of my head. But if not, let's throw him in the Shirakawa because
I know that name. I know that name. Hang on. I know the name. It's perfect. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just look up a note that I've got somewhere. I know the name as well because she is on my breakout star of the year for the women. Harley Cameron. There we go.
There you are, Harley Cameron. Yeah, because she's just bonkers anyway. You throw her in that environment, we have a great time.
Harley Cameron, 100%.
Absolutely. Eric saying Statlander is who I'm forgetting, but she's the champion though, and she's got
champion,
she's got her stuff going on with now going on with God, I can't get my words out at all. Death Riders, that's what I want to say. The Death Riders. Right. So I don't know what's going to quite go on with that. So maybe she can go that direction. And there's going to be women's tag team titles as well coming to AEW. That's an exciting prospect. I think Julie Hart and Sky Blue would be great champions to start it off.
Yeah, I mean, we know AEW is not the best at booking the women's division. this may be a bit too soon for tag team titles, but hopefully they can do something the WWE can't do, and that's book a decent women's tag team division.
It's what we want to see. It's what we want to see. Eric says in 2 years we're losing Cena, AJ Styles, maybe Roman, Seth, and Becky. I'm not ready for a retirement match. Let's say Javon Evans simply so we can give a young guy the rub. I mean, Javon's got a very bright future. Had a great showing on SmackDown against Sami Zayn last week as well there. But I hope we don't lose all of those names. Jesus, that is a very high profile way. But certainly looks like we're losing Styles and Cena for sure.
20-something years ago, we were saying goodbye to like The Rock and Stone Cold and Kurt Angle. And so, yeah, look, talent comes and go, but there's always someone new to replace them. It's just a case of WWE making sure that that talent is worthy. Obafemi. Sorry,
Absolutely.
my mouth slipped there.
Certainly is indeed. We have a lot of comments that are coming flying in. Thank you very much for your questions so far. We are going to do that for sure. If you could pick a match for TNA versus NXT, who would you pick? I mean, we've seen a lot of those type of matches already. I remember Oba versus Moose was one I really wanted to see. But is there anything that you haven't seen that you'd like to see? I mean, I love the fact Mustafa Ali is going for that North American Championship as well. Certainly feels like a big deal to me.
I would, I think if I was going to do anything, I would make the tag team match a multi-team, and I would have 2 teams from each brand and make it a 4-way. And I would throw in Dolph and his brother, Dolph, Nick Nemeth and then Ryan Nemeth, and then throw in another NXT team that needs a rub because Hank and Tank have completely fallen off since winning those titles. So I don't know. You could even throw them in there. Just like I said, the fact that it's Ryan Nemeth and Nick Nemeth, I think they're, again, Nick obviously being formerly Dolph Ziggler, he knows the system, could put on a killer match. Why isn't Matt Cardona on the card, to be fair, as well? Give me Matt Cardona versus someone.
Surely we're getting Cardona versus Briggs after what they did on NXT this past week.
Oh, I must have missed that then. I honestly, I missed it. I presume Cardona cost Briggs the match against Osborne, right?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Then we're getting that. Yeah. Okay. I missed that part completely then.
I will say, if this had not already been announced, James, I love that they're doing Javon Evans versus Leon Slater at Bound for Glory. Good time to mention, actually, we're going to do Bound for Glory predictions. We're going to do them live next week. So for those that are like a bit of TNA, we're going to dive in for that predictions live. But I will try and give one more answer for you, just looking through in my head. I think Ricky Saints has not really had a lot of the TNA stuff going on to this point. So I'm going to pick Ricky Saints as someone from the NXT side. And I think then to go with the, do you know what? Ricky Saints versus Mike Santana. If I could pick a match right now, that's what I'd pick. Yeah. I think that would be a really good match.
Yeah, it would be fresh. My only issue is he's obviously brand new champ, so it's not very likely that Saints is going to lose. So I think that's my only problem with that. I think if, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like Leon Slater's the X Division champion, isn't he? I think that would have been the best bet. I think it was Slater versus Javon Evans for the X Division championship. That should have been on this show.
Should have been. Eric says, I hope Zaya Brookside becomes a massive star for TNA. She's certainly got a bright future ahead of her. Great in-ring talent. Always been a fan of Zaya.
Yeah, agreed.
Did you like the learning tree in AEW? I'm a sucker for Chris Jericho. Of course I'm going to like it, even if it's bad.
Yeah, it's that persona and that he has that aura and that draw of him. Like, even when he's cringy and awkward, you still find him hilarious.
Absolutely. CM Punk's big fan, needs Adam Cole back, don't we all? Wish him all the best. Hope he's healthy, whatever he's doing right now.
Yeah, agreed.
James says, what happened to Britt Baker in AEW? Not seen her on TV in a long time. She takes long gaps of absence, doesn't she? I don't know why she's not been around.
Ironically, there was something out today, and I had it on in the background, but I didn't pay too much attention because I think they've just done a show in Pittsburgh, and she wasn't on it. And I just think they're running down her contract. I think she's going to be a free agent, and I just don't think they want her. She hasn't been on TV since I think last year. I think was the last time she was on TV. I just generally think they're running it down. She
would be great for TNA.
100%.
James says, what happened to Camille in AEW? Not seen her on TV Nation. Yeah, she get injured. I feel she got injured. That's
Possibly.
what I want to say.
I can't say I'm up to date on TNA injuries. That's any problem.
I was AEW with Camille this one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure she got hurt, and then they
Possibly.
broke
I'll
her
see if I
away.
can try and find out.
And then they broke her away from Monet, and she's just not been seen since. But again, some of the but she was signed for a long time before she came on screen with Mercedes Monet as well. So it's yeah, there are some people unfortunately have just not been booked well or at all in AEW. And they do have a strong women's division. It would be great to see her back if and when she's healthy.
So, in terms of Britt Baker, apparently Tony Khan is a big fan, but doesn't have nothing for her in terms of creative. And I'm sorry, it's Britt Baker at the end of the day. How you don't have anything for her is a bit insane since she's one of your OGs.
Mm. Yep, absolutely.
Apparently Camille is not injured, so
No,
I couldn't actually tell you.
nothing
I don't know.
creatively then.
She
Clearly.
was written off. She was written off of TV because she was filming the Queen of the Ring film, and I just again, it's probably the same as Britt Baker. No creative at the minute for her to come back.
There you are. When you've got Dynamite, Collision, Ring of Honor, there's a lot of TV for AW. You'd think you'd find
Still
something for
can't get
those
enough
two
TV,
talents. That's mad. Just mad. Eric says, do you think Liv is a favourite for the Royal Rumble? Issue returns in time.
Should be.
100%. Probably
be.
wins it. Sid says, would you like to see TNA King of the Mountain return? Abso-freaking-lutely. Love a bit of nostalgia TNA. Isn't that the one?
Concept?
Isn't King of the Mountain? So, Sid, tell me if I've got this right or wrong, because there is a chance I can get this wrong. Isn't this the one when, like, King of the Mountain, you have the ladder and there's pinfalls, and then people have to go into a penalty box? But your aim is, once you've got a pinfall, to grab a championship and put it up on the belt, the thing at the top, rather than take it off to begin with. It's a bit bonkers. Yes, but I think so. I think so. And to be fair, I kind of liked it.
Look, if they can make it work, sure, why not? I'm sure it'll be hilarious.
Absolutely. CM Punk's big fan wants Jericho to win the Rumble because he has tried so many times and just couldn't get the win. So I want him to win the Rumble. That would be quite a way to return.
Unfortunately, I think winning the Rumble is slightly past Jericho's time. Unfortunately, he's not exactly the up and coming main event star that they really want to build.
No, but then he would be perfect for a Saudi Mania if he was to return by that time. But there you go. Eric says TJ or Blue and Sky, perfect choices. Either that should be the final for the women's tag team titles in AEW.
I would take TJ.
Absolutely. Sid says Tekla, the Spider, would be on the heel team for Blood and Guts. Kind of agree with that. I think she's a shoo-in for that match, and she'll be very good in it. Sid says, I hate Rhino if keep saying my big brother whenever he's on the mic. Hey, you got to get over somehow. Eric says that I'd love to see Tatum. I'd love to see Tatum and Izzy have something to do next week.
Yeah, again, another two that should have been considered. Well, yeah, look, this is we've had this discussion privately. This is, I think, my biggest issue with this whole storyline is it's a TV special when this really should be a pay-per-view, because this deserves 3-hour pay-per-view time limit to get people like Tatum and Izzy on this roster, and it's a shame. And like I said a minute ago, no Grace, no Joe Hendry. If this had been a takeover or a pay-per-view or PLE or whatever you want to call it, I think this would have done so much better.
Yeah, I think so. The reason they're doing this show next week is because AEW is on the Tuesday and it's Title Tuesday. So this is the head-to-head. That's pretty much why they're doing. Otherwise, this should have been with Survivor Series matches as well. This should have been on Survivor Series weekend, and they should have drawn this out as a thing. But also, Bound for Glory is the weekend after this as well. So, and I think there is a chance, just let me finish quickly. I think there is a chance that TNA win their strap back with Mike Santana, could be winning the gold next week.
I wouldn't be surprised if they carried the story on afterwards, because if we remember, after Invasion in 2001, the story carried on to Survivor Series, did it not? So there is a chance that they could still do that and also have a pay-per-view themed around it that could be Invasion or whatever that weekend.
Certainly could be a way that could go. And just to mention, by the way, Tatum and Izzy, they've got stuff going on with Lyra Valkyria now, and I like that. That's an interesting dynamic I want to see play out further on NXT. Eric says that I can hear Jericho now. Dom, do you know what happens when you leave your daddy and your money? You just made the list. Damn right, Eric. Damn right. Camilla's
Well, it
busy
is
being
now.
American
Joe Cody's
Gladiator.
new dad.
That's why
Oh,
she's
didn't
not on
even know
TV.
that.
She's American Gladiator.
Fair
She's American Gladiator.
enough.
Thanks, Eric, for the facts. James watches Camille on our YouTube channel. Maybe we should as well. Subscribe to this channel as well if you're enjoying stuff. But I know everyone that's in the comments here is subscribed, so appreciate you all. But if you can hit the like button, though, we'd appreciate that as well. Becky is a generational heel. She's doing fantastic work now, especially since teaming up with Seth. I think she's doing some great work in the last few weeks.
Yeah, but is she bigger than Charlotte Flair Hill? Because Charlotte gets good go away heat.
She does. She does get good go away heat. Eric says, I love the Adam Cole doll there, NXT.
There is another 3 of him somewhere, I'm sure of it, but he's the only one I can find at the minute.
Absolutely. CM Punk's being a fan. Who is your favorite wrestler, past or present? Mine is CM Punk or Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy. Got a great collection of choices there. NXT, your favorite wrestler of all time?
Kevin Owens is my spirit animal in terms of a wrestler. Like, he is he breaks the fourth wall. He's funny. Like, guy can make me die laughing, but then when he gets serious, he can put on a hell of a story. He can cut a great promo. He can do things that someone for his shape and physique shouldn't be able to do. Kevin Owens for me.
Yeah, fair play on that one. Current favorite wrestler? I guess then still Kevin Owens. The answer's past and present, doesn't it? It's the favorite wrestler.
Exactly, and it's like I could say Ultimate Warrior, but he's a terrible wrestler, and do you know what I mean? He was a part of an era when wrestling wasn't considered that great, and let's be honest, his promos were a load of waffle.
Yeah, true story. Favorite wrestler in present? I would say Will Ospreay, but I'm going to say Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page, I think, is my guy at the minute. Character, in ring, everything, just ticks every single box. CM Punk will be in that category as well from WWE's side. But all time, RVD, Shawn Michaels, they tick the boxes for me. They are 2 favorites of all time. Eric Douglas says, I think both Santana and Indy are winning titles next week. Loving those predictions there, Eric. Roy says that Camille, not a wife or family member, but the surname is the same. Gotta love that. But Roy, we was going to ask, so I'm glad you clarified for us. Ray says his favorite wrestlers, Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold. Strong choices there. Mike says NXT women's division has suffered since Jacy Jaynes become champion. They need to get the title off of her. Who do you see taking the title off of her? His picks are either Sol Ruka or Jordan Grace.
I don't know, because, like you said a minute ago, the whole promo that Jacy was cutting is kind of almost like a little face turn for her, but I think Jordan Grace is probably the safest bet.
Jordan Grace was a safe bet. I think that Sol Ruka will still have problems there. I'm a big fan of Jada Parker. Would love to see her do that, but I can see her going to the main roster at some point in the future. I don't think she's going to quite get the NXT Championship rub. I don't feel. So yeah, I'm going to go with Jordan Grace. I think Grace needs it, especially after the match that they just had now, where she got a win back over Blake Monroe.
Yeah, we never did a review for NXT, but the fact that they used Jada Parker in a Speed Championship match was criminal.
Yeah, to be fair, but he got around the card at least. But yeah, and they did do well in the finish and protect him with having the having Lash Legend being the reason why. Yeah, but there you go. Eric says CM Punk's the biggest fan. Matt Hardy or Sting. Eric, look at that. And also Ray that says my favorite wrestler present, Tony Storm, so entertaining with her promos. She is so funny. She's incredibly funny indeed. Right, we're going to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, share with a friend, subscribe as well, all that good stuff. And NXT, any final words before we wrap up the video?
Nah, dude, always a pleasure. I look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. We're looking to try and do that. We've got 2 predictions videos live next week. It's going to be Crown Jewel, which, let's be fair, no one's talked about Crown Jewel today, which makes me feel the interest is pretty low for that one. But Bound for Glory is next week as well, so we'll be giving predictions for that also. This week, if you need a bit of predictions fix, it'll be pre-recorded, but it's going to be NXT versus TNA. It's going to be Showdown. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, look after yourselves, and we'll see you for the next one. Take care.